Welcome to MT's Corner with Myesha-Tiara, where we discuss celebrity news, acting advice, and everything in between that has to do with acting. So sit back and enjoy yourself and enjoy my opinion. And my question to them is, you mad? Hi everybody, my name is MT as an M with a T, and this is MT's Corner. Now, this is my first ever YouTube video as MT's Corner, and I'm pretty excited. And on MT's Corner, we discuss acting, my personal experience in the industry, and random entertainment news that pertains to acting. I mean, you see how it's going on, acting. Yeah. So I decided for my first ever YouTube video, let's jump in the deep end with no lifesaver. And by that, I mean, have y'all heard? No, have you heard? We've been in quarantine for about a month and a half now, and we're all bored. So we go to Netflix and Hulu, scrolling, hoping for the best new thing. And what do we get, my people? Hashtag Black AF. Now, me personally, I am a bit of a recluse. And by that, I mean, I don't have a Twitter. I have an Instagram and I have a Facebook. And I go on both almost never. However, I do have a YouTube and a Tumblr, and somehow I seem to spend most of my time on those two platforms. And some of the YouTubers I follow have decided to talk about this new show on Netflix called hashtag Black AF. Now, me personally, I'm not sure that I feel the same way that some others might feel about this new show. Some of their points I agree with, and some of them I don't. Now, disclaimer, this is my opinion. And if you disagree, I actually want to know. And give me some solid points. Go in the comment section and let me know you disagree. And I'll comment back at you and we can talk about this. Because this is my opinion and this is how I feel about the situation. So, those of you who don't know, hashtag Black AF on Netflix was created by the writer, director, and producer Kenya Barris. Now, if you don't know that name, which I didn't know that name when I saw the preview for the show, I thought he was somebody else. Because the only Kenya I know is
right? Fabulous. Going with the wind, fabulous. Okay?
that may just be me not doing my due diligence as a Black actress and a director. However, it could also be the fact that I don't watch his content. Sorry about it. He also created the shows Blackish, Mixedish, Grownish, and he's worked on shows like America's Next Top Model with Tyra Banks. I believe he helped create that show. And now we have hashtag Black AF. Now this show, I will tell you, I did not watch it. And you may be wondering, well, how can you have an opinion on a show that you didn't even watch? So you need to just be quiet. Well, here's my opinion on why I have an opinion on a show I did not watch. I found out about this show last week. I told y'all I don't have a Twitter. So Black Twitter and me, look, if they don't screenshot it and put it on Tumblr, I don't see Black Twitter. Or, you know, it happens to be on YouTube. And I saw people commenting about Kenya in another YouTube video that I was watching at the time. And I said, what is hashtag Black AF? So I went and put in the search engine, Black AF, hashtag Black AF, and looked for the trailer. And I think the trailer's about 3 minutes long. Trust me, I could be totally wrong. It could be 2 minutes, whatever. The point is, I got in about 30 to 40 seconds of the trailer, and I just knew right away that this just was not for me. It just wasn't for me. To me, what I saw was corny writing, and I'm not a big fan of corny writing. I'll turn the show off in a heartbeat on Netflix, and I'll just thumbs down it. Don't show me this no more. I don't like corny writing. I don't like poorly written things. I just don't like it. And so from the trailer, I just wasn't a fan of that. That was the first thing that threw me off. It's like, I just didn't like the cringiness of the blackness. I was just like, this is corny. This is corny. It was just cringy. I think they were like something about being a gangster. It was something cringy. It was like watching white people try to imitate what a black person would like. And then I found out that a lot of the writers for the show are white. So that was the second thing that made me not like the show, because it was like, title to me was misleading. Like, I feel like the title was misleading to a lot of people. When you say hashtag Black AF, you think of things like this. Yeah, yeah, oh, oh, yeah, yeah, oh, oh, yeah, 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 oh. Right? Am I right or am I right? Like, that's what I think when I think of things like that, but hashtag Black AF. However, although I thought the title was a bit misleading, the things that made me not want to watch the show, like I said, the first things was the writing. The writing just was not, it wasn't my style. And the second thing was that most of the writers were white on a show that's about black-ish people. Like, I put that in there, blackish people. You know, hey, shout out to his other show that I also don't watch. Then, as I watched more of the trailer, I realized that no one looked like me. Now, me personally, I am from Louisiana. Colorism is real everywhere. However, sometimes in certain areas, it can be a little bit more. And being from Louisiana, colorism is a little heavier there. For me, I don't live there now. I now live somewhere else. Maybe I will tell you one day. But I grew up and I was considered a dark-skinned woman, which I wholeheartedly believe that I am. Some people may consider me brown-skinned. I consider myself dark-skinned. It is what it is. I identify as a dark-skinned woman. I have the plight of a dark-skinned woman. Now, I'm not the darkest of the dark-skins, but I have some similar stories. Okay? So, when I saw the trailer and I saw the people that were in it, no one resonated with me. And I'm an adult woman. I'm in my 20s. So, I don't have kids. I don't have a husband. So those elements to me, they were just things I could not relate to. And I didn't even care that there were light-skinned people and there were mixed people trying to be very black. Because to me, why can't they try to be very black? Some of these mixed people and biracial people do have the same experience culturally as a full black person, depending on who their parents are, where they were raised, and so forth. Now, hold on before you say I'm caping. Before you're like, you care about light-skinned people and biracials, but you dark-skinned and your hair kinky and you don't care about none of that. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Calm down. My point being is, it didn't affect me. When I saw the trailer for hashtag Black AF, I said, poor writing for me. Some people may love that type of writing. I'm not one of those people. Poor writing for me. Most of the writers are white on a show that's supposed to be about black people. So it just things that threw me off. And I couldn't relate to anyone in the actual trailer that I saw. So for me, it was just a no. I just didn't want to watch it. The issue for me, though, is the fact that it got so much blacklash. Blacklash? Okay. But it did. It got blacklash. You know what? It did. Because mostly black people were upset about this show being the way that it is. And my question to them is, you mad? And I laugh because it is funny to me. I find it utterly hilarious because I do not care. I just do not care. So let's just break it down. Kenya creates art that he feels appeals to his demographic or his life story. A lot of artists, we create art because it appeals to our life story. We're able to relate to that. That is what we care about. And you know what? I cannot knock you for that. Now, he did go on Twitter and say some things that I was just like, oh, sis, that's cringy. Said to him, y'all really called it black excellence. Woof, good luck. Kenya responded with, what'd be a better name? Really interested in your thoughts on the name of a show you've never seen. He said, the answer is to make sure we keep making good programming and depict all our beauty. I and everything I do reflects that love. But to cast people like some kind of skin color all-star game would actually do more harm. That man said, shut up. Shut up. He not doing an all-star team of Negroes. He went on to say, guys, this is supposed to be real, he tweeted. What do you think Rashida and I's kids would look like? Have you seen my actual, very real, and definitely black family? Don't we have enough hate from others? And I'm also not going to make up a fake family that genetically makes no sense just for the sake of trying to fill quotas. I love my people. Added Barris, I'm going to say this and then let what happens happen, he continued. Colorism is a divisive tool used by the powerful to separate the truly powerful. If you knew me, you would know how much that hurts. This black family looks like mine. And he's right. I mean, I looked at pictures of him and his family and compared that to the pictures of what he used in the show, and everything except for like the token darker skinned person, everybody looks the same. You know what? I don't know why most people just don't act like Beyonce when it comes to criticism. You don't see it. You just don't. You don't see it. Why do you have to be so offended by something that does not matter because it does not cater to you? And when I say that, I mean that Kenya don't cater to certain people. That's just what it is. All of his shows have similar elements of talking about a biracial family, and there's normally maybe a token dark-skinned person in it. And that's like, I just named all 4 of his shows, okay? And me personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with that for the simple fact that biracial people and light-skinned people also deserve to have their stories told. Mixed families deserve to have their stories told. However, instead of constantly being upset that those people are having their stories told, I'm just not going to watch those stories because those stories just don't appeal to me. They don't. Now, I do watch shows that have no black people in them at all, or barely any, like shows like The Office or shows like Sunday in Philadelphia, because I like raunchy comedy. That comedy appeals to me. Now, a show about a mixed family where it's cringy writing, that just doesn't appeal to me. Now, some people may like this show. I'm not knocking you for liking it. And I understand black people's plight with the fact that plight would seem that it is like an eraser. Because you're saying hashtag Black AF, so that because you're getting Kenya's version of what hashtag Black AF means. And you know what? If you don't like Kenya's version of that, you don't have to watch it. I know, asinine. It sounds crazy that I would say that. If you don't like his shows, you don't have to watch it. If you don't think it should be out there and it's something you don't want to watch, don't watch it. But what we're not going to do is try to make this man's experience wrong, in a sense. Well, I was going to say there's plenty of black people making art that we care about, but when it comes to mainstream black people, to be real with you, that have the ability to open doors for others, there are not that many mainstream black people who cater to all of black people in a sense. And it's not just about being light-skinned, or it's about being biracial. And a few of those people, Issa Rae's work, Ryan Coogler, who directed Black Panther, Ava DuVernay, those artists are who you should be paying attention to. Now, you're upset about Kenya saying hashtag Black AF, and he has an ambiguous wife biracial children, and there's one dark-skinned token person, da 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 da. I understand your frustration. I hear your plight, because as a director, I've been in those rooms where I've had to fight for black people, and I've had to fight for full black people who look black. However, when something doesn't appeal to me, I don't watch it. So if you don't support those shows that Kenya produces or writes or directs, don't watch it. So then he doesn't get your viewership. I don't want to take a work away from those actors, and nothing against any of those actors in that show. It just doesn't appeal to me. There are a lot of shows in the world that are just not going to appeal to you. And if that's a mixed person, a light-skinned person's experience, then let that show appeal to them. But what is happening now is people are in such an outrage about something that black people should be used to. If you want someone who's going to give you black quality content, support those who give black quality content. I named you 4 black people right now who have quality work, okay? Go watch their shows. Go support their shows. Issa Rae, for example, has short film Sundays. All of those videos are on YouTube, and half of them are not even over 1 million views. So while you're upset about Kenya having a Netflix show that doesn't appeal to you, there's at least 2 or 3 of those short film Sundays that Issa Rae's production has on YouTube that are freaking amazing and may appeal to you. Now, I think they're all great. Now, let's stop being upset when people don't give you what they've never given you. The confusion for me when it comes to Kenya is that you're expecting something different. And he's shown you in 4 different shows the same thing. So if you didn't like it in the first show, and you didn't like it in the second show, and you didn't like it in the third show, and now you're expecting the 4th show to be different, I don't think that's Kenya's fault. I think that's your fault for deceiving yourself. We can't put these people on a pedestal, folks, because every single time they will get knocked off and it will hurt your feelings. You don't know these folks. That's his experience. He may be doing it for money. He could be doing it for a number of different reasons. But because you're in such an outrage and upset that he doesn't have an array or rainbow of skin tones, the all-star team, whatever cringy response he gave you on Twitter, now you have made his show like number 3 on Netflix. I haven't checked this morning. It may be number 1. So because you're angry at a show that doesn't describe you and your Black AF experience, you've bombarded him. That man told you how he felt in December, I believe. I didn't even know about the show way back then. Now it's just resurfacing because it just came out this week. But this man told you how he felt in December. He dismissed you. He said what didn't they say something like insanity is doing the same thing, expecting a different result? So you continue to watch his programs, expecting them not to be full of light-skinned biracial people and their experience. And that's where you mess up. I understand our plight, and I feel you. However, what I'm going to do is support those Black artists that I feel have great shows. I'm going to make their shows number 1. Have you watched Uncorked on Netflix? It's an amazing show. Have you watched those Nollywood movies on Netflix? They are amazing. Have you watched some of those actually quality Netflix Black movies? All of them aren't trash. Let's support those shows that we actually like. Because if we constantly try to erase light-skinned people or biracial people or get shows canceled that don't appeal to our demographic, we already have seen that doesn't work. If it works so well with getting those shows canceled or not being on the air, then Kenya wouldn't be on his 4th show talking about biracial people and licensed people's experiences, Black people. It infuriates me when I turn on a show and the Black person that represents me doesn't look like me, or they don't look Black at all. Or I turn on a show and when it is a Black person, it's a stereotype. There are artists that don't produce stereotypes that are bigger in the industry. Let's give them more of our support instead of constantly being upset that a tiger doesn't change his stripes. Kenya is who Kenya is, and he told you how he felt about it. Now, my question to you is, why are you mad Thank you so much for joining me in MT's Corner. That's an M with a T. And I hope to see you next time. Who knows what I'll talk about next time. Now, if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. And if you want to share it, share it. If you want to tell me, you know what? No, you're wrong. He should be trying to make black content with all black people when that ain't his experience. He should be doing this. He should be giving these opportunities. And now I agree with that part. He should give opportunities to other people. They should be gatekeepers who open the doors. So I want to hear what you have to say. And I want to hear what you think. Look down below and comment. And I'll comment back to you. Like always, people, I would like you to all to stay safe, especially during this trying time for all of us. COVID-19 is serious. And some of us have lost people who are very close to home. Now, I would prefer for you to go watch a Netflix show that you find purely entertaining. I wish you all the best. Until next time, this has been MT's Corner, and I hope you come back again. Power to the people.